What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, seems that the the kind of subconscious wishes that many Xbox fans, Xbots, have been praying for is starting to happen a little bit. Meaning that Warhammer Remastered is not on PlayStation. It is not on play. It's exclusive, console exclusive, Xbox. Hello. When that happened, I was like, "Uh-oh. Wait, what's going on here? Why is that happening?" And here's what I think. I think Matt Booty has been playing along. He's been playing nice doggy. He's been like, "All right, we're going to just chill. I feel you what? Okay, I'm all right, cool. Sarah, whatever you say, boss." Then he's like, nobody's watching. Warhammer Remastered? Ooh. He slid that money over to, was it Focus Entertainment? I don't know who publishes that game. He slid that money. He's like, here. Yeah, don't, you know what to do. And he walked away like, he said, pay them out of business. Spend them out of business. I was like, that had to be a Matt Booty move. Matt Booty's been waiting all these years. They're like, yo, come on, boss. Come on. Let me off the leash. Feels like Cisco holding back those two Rottweilers in that video. Dude, I thought exclusivity was over at this point, right? I mean, it's probably a timed exclusive, whatever. But still, the point still stands that this move, even though it wasn't unnecessary, I mean, Microsoft didn't have to do it, but it was an illustration to PlayStation, to Sony, that, hey, if this is the game you want to play, this is the environment in which you want to play, these are the rules, okay, check it. Boom. There you go. Even though it's not like this game is nothing, it's a prequel to blah, 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 it's not a new game, but it doesn't matter. It's about the principalities, Smokey. And so when you see that, you're like, oh, well, I guess nothing is off the whatchamacallit. Nothing's off the table when it comes to this. We can expect that any game will be exclusive to Xbox at this point because, let's be honest, Microsoft has more money than PlayStation. So Xbox has more money than Microsoft has more money than Sony, so they can buy as many exclusives as they want in order to just smack PlayStation and Sony through the internet and say, this is how y'all want to play. This is how y'all want to compete. Let's compete. You want to compete bank to bank, dollar to dollar? Let's go. Who you think's gonna win? If it comes to who can pay for more exclusives, who do you think is gonna win? If Matt Booty's let off the leash by Phil and Sarah and Amy and whoever else, Satya, right? If Matt Booty is reign free to do whatever he wants and they give him a blank check, it's over. It's over. It's already over for PlayStation this generation. You know, King Spiel's running up on them bums, blah blah blah. Keep his neck and that. He's pretty smart. He's pretty brilliant in that. You say that every episode, and gets logged into your brain. And it's true. What's happening? But Phil Maximus Aurelius Spencer, first of his name, last of his kind. I add that last part because it just seems proper. Is making moves, and I think he has the right people. Now, Sarah Bond, she already proved her worth during the trial, but I want to see how this console, the next gen console launch happens. See what the hardware is. See if all the things that she said comes to fruition. And I think that's her final test. If that goes off and everything's banging and boom, then she's the queen. She's the heir apparent, as far as I'm concerned. But dude, this exclusivity thing, it's like the perfect timing too, because it's like, yo, PlayStation has no games. So how do you hurt PlayStation? First, any third party games that you can make not go onto PlayStation, that's what you do. Then you put your games, you put Microsoft, you could put them Xbox games on PlayStation, and you watch them dominate. You see what's happening? They're saying, okay, we're going to put our games on PlayStation. The Ponies and Donkey Unicorns say, yeah, we got your games. Why do you need an Xbox, right? And then they say, any third party games coming this way? Block them. You don't get to play that. You could play our game. You could pay us. You're not paying them. You want to play to pay, then you're going to come to us and pay. That's what's up. And they get their 70 and we get our 30. You see what they're doing? They're spending them out of business, out of competition, meanwhile shaping the way the money flows. And it's evil and it's bad, and it's exactly what Sony's been doing this whole generation, I would say, for their whole existence. Let's just be real, right? So now that Sony no longer has the upper hand, now that the facade of, oh, all these consoles sold in doesn't mean anything, because the outcome is we're not selling games. Oh, we have all these consoles sold. Then the financial people at all these companies, at all these studios, at all these corporations, looking at the books and are like, all right, they got 70, what did they say? 77.8 million sold in. So how many did we sell? Less than what, 2%, 3, whatever it is. I don't know what that is. I'm like, how? 1.5. I'm like, no, that's not. That's, look, bottom line is the bottom line. I always say that. And these people are looking at the bottom line, and Sony is not fulfilling the bottom line. Square Enix saw it and they bounced. What's his name? Helldiver 2 dev, Arrowhead, they saw it and they bounced. Everybody's bouncing. Everybody's leaving. It is the great exodus from PlayStation, and they just don't want to admit it. They can't admit it. They're just, well, that's the Ponies and the Donkey Unicorns. The CEOs and the CFO have already admitted, and they have already changed their tune. But it's not going to help if they're not giving you a reason for new people to come into the PlayStation. You see, if you look at Nintendo, you look at Sony, you look at Microsoft. Now Nintendo's coming out with a new console. They got a couple new games coming out. They're gonna get some people. I mean, they're getting mostly the old people, but that's what they want anyway, right? So that's fine. We'll have to see until, see how that gets rolling. But if you look at two offerings from PlayStation and Xbox, you'll see that the Xbox side is more enticing. It's better quality games, more games, and better on your pocketbook wallets, better on your bank account. You look at PlayStation, everything's worse. Everything's worse. Even the studio's operational worse. And you got people in Reddit, I think it was Reddit or wherever, they were like, does anybody else feel jealous about the quality of games and offerings from PSN versus Game Pass? It's like, y'all dumb? We've been saying this for how long? Years. But nah, y'all be like, I like to buy my games. Like, y'all are idiots. So this is what happened. You like to buy your games? Xbox is gonna sell them to you. And the funny thing is that all these Donkey Unicorns and Ponies online and all these content creators, they're full of shite. They have Game Pass. They just don't want to admit it, because they would be idiots to say, oh, I'm gonna buy my games instead of just sub the Game Pass and play them all there. It doesn't make sense financially. If you're a streamer, that's your business, it doesn't make sense fiscally for your business to buy every game. Sign up for Game Pass, you could stream those games, you could have your content, and is at a budget price. It's built for streamers and everybody else. Dude, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this one short, but that just popped off. I just saw it this morning, so I was like, all right, shoot, I gotta talk about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm like, yo, is Matt Booty off the leash? Is there gonna be more of this coming? I'm like, I hope so, because Remember, once again, I said I want Sony to get a taste of their own medicine. I want PlayStation to get a taste of their own medicine. What they've been doing this whole generation and before, and continue to do, I want them to feel that. I want the ponies and the donkey unicorns to see, to taste it, to feel that new PlayStation fragrance. It don't smell that good, does it? That aroma, that flavor don't taste that good. Do it. It don't, because it wasn't right to begin with. And it shows a sign of weakness for them because they were scared of Xbox as competition. But the way that Xbox is doing it, because they have the games on PlayStation, they're trying to corner the market. They're trying to absolutely take over PlayStation Store with all Xbox games, and to say, hey, y'all want to take this bag and make it exclusive? And they say yes. It's like, cool. That makes another spot open for another Xbox game on PlayStation Store. Let's go. That's what's going on. You see how it was like multi-level chess up in here? 69D chess. Everybody's talking about, oh, they're not doing that. They're just doing, it's desperation. You could call it desperation, but honestly, it's working, and it's working really well. It's working so well that it doesn't feel like it's desperation. It feels like it's like calculated movements that fanboys, idiot fanboys, don't like. And I mean, I say idiot loosely, but honestly, anybody who's feeling hurt or whatever about exclusivity, y'all need to come to today, come to contemporary times, leave the past behind, come to now, because that, I explained this in a previous video, that methodology of thinking is, that ideology is cemented and connected to bespoke console hardware, where there were no options for multi-platform. Like SNES and Sega Master System were not compatible. Now they could have probably made adapters, but that's not how it worked back in the day. And Nintendo locked that exclusive thing down, kind of what Sony's trying to do. So that's how they did business back then, because it was fairly new. The whole video game, it was a young industry. But now you see that these consoles are all basically PCs. They're just stripped down, unable to do a lot of stuff PCs. And so making a PlayStation version and an Xbox version, it's not that difficult. And when these devs say, oh, it's so difficult, it's x86. There's certain different things, of course, but it's not that difficult. It's not a totally different language. It's not a totally different. Anyway, I'm not getting into all of that, but the point is that now, today, is a different environment. Everything can play everywhere, especially with emulation layers or not emulation layers. It's a translation layer. Excuse me. They have translation layers for these things. Steam Deck uses it. PCs can use it. They just started doing that with the Sonic Unleashed thing. Well, that's a recompiled version. But there are ways to make these games just work. And so it's a legal thing now. And so when a game doesn't appear in a certain platform, legally, that's why it didn't. Not because, the dev doesn't want to, make more money if it's third party. But if it's Sony, they don't want to put their game on an Xbox because they're afraid of competition. They don't want Xbox to seem like, oh, this is on Xbox, I don't need a PlayStation. They don't ever want that to happen, but it's going to happen because it's happening on the PC side. Anyway, I'm rambling, I'm blambling. I appreciate you hanging out, sharing this, man. Like and subscribe. Give me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Warhammer Remastered, exclusive on Xbox console exclusive. PlayStation gets to starve. Do you taste it? You taste it? Ponies and donkey unicorns, are you tasting your medicine? I hope you are. This is a lesson to be learned. And also, I hope it's not the last lesson. Matt Booty, do your thing. Phil, let him off the leash. Let him run the neighborhood, scare all the children. All right. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.